Before we begin this morning prayer, please take a moment to subscribe to the channel and like this video. This morning, before the world tells you who to be, before expectations wrap themselves around your heart, let's pause here together and make space for compassion, the kind you rarely give yourself. I know it's easier to be kind to others. You offer understanding, grace, softness to people who are struggling, hurting, or just having a hard day. And yet, when it's your own reflection in the mirror, your voice often sharpens. You count flaws, you replay moments, you tighten up inside, but not today. This morning, let's gently quiet that critical voice and ask for something softer, something healing. Let's ask a dog to help you see yourself the way he sees you, not as a list of mistakes, not as someone who needs to be fixed or polished, but as someone worthy of tenderness right now, just as you are. If you woke up already feeling behind, already judging yourself for what you haven't done or what you feel you should be, I want you to know that God is not measuring you with those same harsh rulers. He isn't waiting for you to prove your worth this morning. He's already here, already loving you, already whispering, "You're enough for me." So take a breath. Place your hand over your heart if it helps. Feel the rise and fall. You're alive. You're here. You're trying. And that's not small. It's brave. It's holy. And it's seen. This prayer is not about perfection. It's not about suddenly becoming someone you're not. It's about letting God walk with you into the parts of yourself you've kept at arm's length, the parts you think are too messy, too weak, too not enough. Those are exactly the parts He wants to love today. Maybe you've been taught that self-compassion is selfish. Maybe you believe it's lazy, indulgent, weak. But what if it's the very thing that sets you free? What if learning to be gentle with yourself is the first step toward healing, growth, peace? God, this morning I ask you to quiet the inner critic, that voice that says you should have done more, you're falling behind, you're not doing it right. That voice is so loud and it's wearing me down. I want to hear a new voice today. I want to hear you. I want us to believe you when you say I'm loved, even in my mess, even in my doubt. Help me let go of the need to earn worth. Help me remember that I don't have to strive to be loved. Help me breathe without bracing myself for judgment. Let this day begin with softness. When I make mistakes today, and I will, remind me that mistakes are not a reason for shame. They are simply reminders that I am learning, that I am human. When I look at my reflection and notice every flaw, gently guide my eyes to see what you see. Not perfection, not performance, but a heart that's still beating, a soul that's still growing, a person who is deeply loved. Help me treat myself like someone I care about. Help me respond to my own needs with the same patience and care I offer others. And if I forget, if I fall back into old patterns, meet me there, not with disappointment, but with arms wide open. Sometimes, God, it feels like I have to be so strong. I push myself. I carry things in silence. I act like I'm fine when inside I feel small. I'm tired of pretending. I want to be real with you this morning. I want to admit that I need kindness, not just from others, but from myself. I want to believe that I am worthy of care, even when I don't get everything right. I want to wake up and not dread the weight of being me. I want to learn how to show up for myself, how to comfort the parts of me that are aching. Please teach me how. Let this morning be different. Let this be the start of a gentler way of living, not one ruled by guilt or fear, but one grounded in grace. Let me move slowly today, not because I'm lazy, but because I'm learning to listen to my heart, to my body, to the spirit. Let me pause when I need to. Let me rest without guilt. Let me celebrate the small wins. Let me forgive the small stumbles. Let me remember that I am not alone in this journey. There are people who will expect a lot from me today. Deadlines, responsibilities, roles I have to fill. I know I won't do it all perfectly. I never do. But God, don't let me attach my worth to how productive I am today. Don't let me fall into that old trap that says you're only valuable if you're performing. Help me value the invisible work, staying calm when I want to scream, being kind when I'm tired, taking a break when I need to. Help me see those quiet acts as sacred too. And if comparison creeps in today, if I scroll and see someone else's highlight reel and feel like I'm failing, pull me back gently. Remind me that my journey is my own, that my pace is not a problem. Let me anchor my self-worth, not in likes or praise or validation, but in your constant, steady love. Let me remember that I don't have to prove anything to be embraced by you. I know there are parts of me I'm still learning to love. Some of them scare me. Some of them frustrate me. Some of them I've tried to hide. But this morning, God, I want to be brave. I want to invite you into those parts. I want to believe that healing doesn't come from rejection, but from radical compassion. So teach me how to offer that compassion to myself, not just when I feel good, but when I feel unworthy. Not just when I succeed, but when I'm still stumbling. Today, let me speak gently to myself. Let me interrupt the cycle of self-criticism with kindness. Let me take a deep breath and start over if I need to. Let me look in the mirror and smile, not because I'm perfect, but because I am loved. Let me carry that truth with me through every meeting, every task, every challenge. Let me hold on to it when things get messy, when I fall short, when I doubt. Let it be the foundation I build my day on. And if I forget again, because I will, forgive me quickly. Don't let me spiral into shame. Just bring me back to this quiet moment, back to your voice, back to the truth that I am still worthy of compassion, no matter how many times I have to relearn it. That's the life I want to live, not one of perfect performance, but one of consistent, courageous softness. So help me live that way, God. Help me begin again, gently. Some days, the loudest voice in your head isn't cruel, it's just tired. Tired of trying to keep up, tired of wondering if you're doing enough, tired of being so aware of every flaw, every mistake, every way you think you don't measure up. And when you're tired like that, it's easy to confuse exhaustion with failure. It's easy to think, if I was stronger, I wouldn't feel this way. But strength isn't about never feeling worn down. Sometimes, strength looks like whispering, I'm still here, even when your soul is weary. Sometimes, strength is sitting quietly and asking for help. And that's what we're doing this morning. Asking for help to see ourselves the way grace does, with patience, with care, without rushing past the parts of us that are still healing. God, I know I haven't always been kind to myself. I've said things in my mind that I'd never say to someone I love. I've punished myself for not being perfect. I've pushed myself beyond what's healthy and called it discipline. But I don't want to live in that mindset anymore. I don't want to carry shame as my alarm clock. I don't want to spend another morning looking in the mirror and bracing for criticism. I want to look at myself and say, you're doing your best. You're allowed to be human. Please teach me how to speak to myself that way. Not once in a while, but every day. Help me let go of that inner scoreboard, the one that tallies my productivity, my mistakes, my regrets. Help me release the pressure to perform. Let this morning be more about presence than proving. Let it be about showing up with an open heart, even if I don't have all the answers, even if I feel behind, even if I'm scared. Let that be enough. Sometimes I forget that compassion isn't something I have to earn. It's something I can choose, even when I don't feel deserving, especially then. So right now, I choose it. I choose to believe that God isn't disappointed in me, that He's not waiting for me to get it all right before He loves me fully, that He's already here, already holding space for the version of me that's unsure and stumbling and still learning how to be soft. Let that truth wrap around my morning like a blanket. Let it cover the places I feel exposed. Let it soothe the anxiety I woke up with. Let it remind me that my imperfections don't disqualify me from being at peace. They just make me human. They just make me someone who needs grace. And grace is never in short supply. God, there's still a part of me that thinks if I let go of the pressure, I'll become lazy or careless. Like if I stop criticizing myself, I'll lose motivation. But what if the opposite is true? What if compassion makes me stronger? What if kindness builds resilience in a way shame never could? What if encouragement fuels growth better than guilt ever did? I want to find out. I want to live from that place. I want to see what it's like to begin my day without dread. I want to see what happens when I meet myself with patience instead of panic. When I slow down, not because I'm failing, but because I'm learning to care. Let this day be a reflection of that care. Let the choices I make come from love, not fear. If I speak too harshly to myself today, remind me to pause, to notice, to say, that's not the voice I want guiding me. If I fall into patterns of self-judgment, gently pull me out. Remind me that I'm allowed to change the narrative, that I'm allowed to speak differently to myself now, that the old ways don't have to be my default. Let me start over as many times as I need to. Let me notice the moments when I'm growing, even if no one else does. Let me be proud of choosing rest, of honoring my limits, of saying no when it protects my peace. Let me know that even if today doesn't go as planned, I can still end it with peace, because I was kind to myself through it all. And when I see other people rushing, achieving, pushing themselves, let me not use their pace as a weapon against my own. Let me not compare my journey to theirs. Let me not shrink under the weight of should. Let me celebrate what's mine. Let me trust that growth doesn't have to be loud to be real, that progress doesn't have to be public to be valid. This morning, I want to walk gently. I want to give myself permission to feel joy without guilt, to take breaks without apology, to speak to myself with the same compassion I'd offer to a hurting friend. I want to live like someone who believes they're worthy of love, not just from others, but from themselves. So here I am, God, a work in progress, a soul that's still unfolding, a heart that's learning how to stay open. Thank you for loving me through every step. Thank you for reminding me again and again that I don't have to be harsh to be strong, that I don't have to be perfect to be precious, that I don't have to be more to be enough. There is something powerful about choosing a different tone with yourself. Maybe it starts small. Maybe it's a quiet whisper instead of a loud criticism. Maybe it's not rolling your eyes at yourself when you forget something. Maybe it's placing a hand on your heart and saying, you're okay, you're doing your best. It may feel unnatural at first, like speaking a language you never learned growing up, but it's worth learning now, because the way you talk to yourself shapes the way you move through the world, and you deserve to move through this day with kindness. You deserve to be on your own side. God, I don't want to keep waking up and going to war with myself. I don't want my first thoughts of the day to be self-doubt, regret, and pressure. I want to wake up and feel the warmth of grace. I want to look in the mirror and not brace for judgment. I want to meet myself in the morning with the same tenderness I'd offer a hurting friend. Please teach me how. Teach me how to pause before the spiral of self-criticism begins. Teach me how to challenge the cruel thoughts, not believe them. Teach me how to offer softness where I've only known severity. I know I'm not the only one who feels this way. So many of us walk around wearing masks of confidence while secretly battling shame. We smile while carrying invisible weights. We show up for everyone else and forget how to show up for ourselves. And maybe this is the morning we stop pretending. Maybe this is the morning we let compassion be louder than perfectionism. Maybe this is the morning we begin to believe that we don't have to earn our own gentleness. God, you know the pressure I put on myself, the impossible standards, the constant measuring, the harsh inner dialogue that says, I should be more, do more, fix more. And you never asked any of that from me. You just asked me to be with you, to be honest, to be real. So here I am, imperfect, unsure, tired, and I'm asking you to help me see myself with new eyes, eyes that see effort, not just outcome, eyes that recognize healing, even when it's slow, eyes that see beauty in the becoming, not just in the arriving. Let me breathe deeply today, not because everything is perfect, but because I'm giving myself permission to live without punishment. Let me feel peace, not because I have everything figured out, but because I'm choosing to rest in your love. Let me walk gently, speak softly, and release the heavy expectations that no longer serve me. If I forget and fall into old habits today, if I judge myself harshly, if I push too hard, if I collapse under the weight of not enough, please meet me there, not with correction, but with comfort, not with shame, but with shelter. Let your presence feel like an exhale. Let it remind me that I'm not alone, that I don't have to be everything to be worthy of anything, that I can be flawed and still loved, still held, still invited into grace. Somewhere along the way, I started thinking that compassion was something to be earned, that I had to reach a certain level of goodness before I could offer it to myself. But what if that's backward? What if I've needed compassion all along, not because I've done something right, but because I'm human? What if compassion isn't the reward, but the rescue? God, rescue me from my own inner critic today. That part of me that's always disappointed, that never believes I'm doing enough, that keeps a list of every failure. Please rewrite that voice. Let your words become my words. Let your kindness echo louder than my shame. Let your truth replace the old stories I've been telling myself. Today, I want to try again. I want to learn to speak to myself with care. I want to build a relationship with myself that isn't based on fear or control or perfectionism, but on love. A love that stays. A love that grows. A love that forgives again and again. That's the love I want to give myself, God, and I need your help to do it. Let my day be shaped not by how much I accomplish, but by how present I am. Let my success be measured in the moments I choose compassion over criticism. Let my heart be proud of even the smallest acts of gentleness, pausing when I want to push, breathing when I want to rush, forgiving when I want to blame. Those are holy moments too. Those are victories worth celebrating. And when I lay down tonight, I don't want to count regrets. I want to feel peace. I want to say, I did my best, and that was enough. I want to know that even if I fell short, I didn't fall alone. You were with me. You still are. And you will be again in the morning. There's something sacred about choosing softness in a world that often rewards hardness. There's courage in waking up and saying, I want to treat myself better today, not because you've finally earned it, not because everything in your life is neat and organized, but because deep down, you know you've been too harsh on yourself for too long. You know the self-judgment, the pressure, the silent expectations, they're wearing you down. And maybe you're just tired of carrying that. Maybe what you need isn't to become stronger, but gentler. This morning, you don't have to fix everything. You don't have to rush toward improvement. You can just be here in this quiet moment and ask for a new way, a slower way, a kinder way, A way that lets God sit beside you without the noise of comparison or the weight of performance. A way that doesn't shame you for your struggles, but honors them. Because struggle doesn't make you broken. It makes you real. It means you're alive. It means you're still fighting to stay tender in a world that can be cold. That's beautiful. That's brave. God, I don't want to keep measuring myself against unrealistic expectations. I don't want to start my mornings with a checklist of ways I'm falling short. I don't want to stand in front of the mirror and only see what I wish were different. I want to see the person you see, the one who is trying, the one who still shows up, the one who has a good heart, even when it's hurting. Help me hold space for that version of me, the honest one, the hurting one, the healing one. I've spent so many years thinking I had to earn love, that if I just worked harder, looked better, achieved more, then I'd finally be good enough. But this morning, I wanted to lay that story down. I want to believe you when you say I'm loved as I am, not later, not when I'm more polished, but now, here, in my pajamas, in my sleepy messiness, in my human, vulnerable state. That's where you meet me, and that's where I want to stay. Teach me to rest in that love, to trust it, to stop grasping for approval and simply let myself be. Let today be the day I stop apologizing for who I am and start embracing it. Not in arrogance, but in quiet peace. Let me carry myself gently. Let me listen to my needs. Let me be kind when I'm tired. Let me forgive myself quickly. Let me speak with compassion instead of critique. And when I slip back into old habits, when I start nitpicking, when I expect too much, when I forget how far I've come, catch me, God. Catch me with your grace. Remind me that healing isn't linear. Remind me that progress is sometimes invisible. Remind me that just showing up with an open heart is enough. I know there will be people today who don't see me fully, who only notice what I lack, who don't understand the effort it takes just to keep going. Please help me not let their opinions shape the way I see myself. Please protect me from absorbing their disappointment. Please anchor my identity in something deeper than others' approval. Let me offer myself what the world might forget to give: encouragement, rest, gentleness. Let me celebrate my small efforts. Let me be proud of tiny steps. Let me laugh at my imperfections instead of drowning in them. Let me see the beauty in being human, not flawless, not always composed, but real, sincere, alive. God, show me how to speak to the part of me that feels unworthy, that part that still believes it has to earn every smile, every bit of peace, every drop of rest. Help me look at that version of myself and say, you're safe now. You're allowed to be here. You belong. I want to become a safe place for my own heart. I've been tired of fighting myself, of waking up already feeling behind, of trying to be someone I'm not. This morning, I want to feel what it's like to breathe without pressure, to move without fear, to simply exist without explanation. I want to live today rooted in compassion. I want to feel okay being me. And if that still feels hard, if I wake up tomorrow needing to pray this all over again, I trust you'll meet me there too, because you never get tired of reminding me who I am. You never grow weary of walking me back to grace. You never say, you should be past this by now. Instead, you whisper, let's begin again. And that, more than anything, gives me hope. So I'll begin again today, with soft words, with gentle steps, with a heart that's learning to heal, to trust, to open. And I'll keep learning. I'll keep trying. I'll keep choosing compassion, even on the days when it feels unnatural, because I know this is the path you're walking with me, and I don't have to do it alone. Some mornings, it's not the world that's the hardest part. It's facing yourself. You wake up already feeling like you've done something wrong. Maybe it's guilt you don't know how to name, or shame you've carried so long it feels like your own shadow. And before your feet even touch the floor, the thoughts begin. You didn't do enough yesterday. You should be better by now. Why can't you just get it right? But let's not begin the day with those voices. Let's begin it with truth, with grace, with softness. Let's begin it by reminding your heart, you are not your failures. You are not your fears. You are not the worst thing you've ever done, or thought, or said. You are still someone worthy of compassion. God sees your whole story, not just the polished parts, not just the moments you're proud of, but the ones you try to forget too. And He doesn't flinch. He doesn't turn away. He stays. He chooses you even when you don't choose yourself. So, if this morning you're feeling unlovable, or worn down, or broken in places you don't know how to fix, know this: you are not beyond grace. You are not too far gone. You are not too messy to be held. You don't have to clean yourself up emotionally before coming close. You're allowed to come to God, tired, confused, heavy. You're allowed to come exactly as you are. And sometimes, maybe that's the hardest thing to believe, that love like that really exists. Love that doesn't leave when you fall apart. Love that doesn't demand a performance. Love that sees the truth of you and still stays. But that's the love you're invited into this morning. Not a love that pressures, but a love that heals. Not a love that waits for you to prove yourself, but one that says, rest here. You're already enough. God, some mornings I wake up and I'm already bracing for failure. I already feel like I'm letting people down. I already feel like I've disappointed you. But maybe I've misunderstood you. Maybe I've spent so long thinking you expected perfection that I forgot what you actually offer: mercy, patience, understanding, a love that knows I'm trying, even when I'm still stumbling. Please help me let go of the lie that says I have to earn rest, earn peace, earn kindness. Help me stop measuring my value in what I can do. Help me remember that my worth is not fragile. It's not up for debate. It's steady. It's anchored in something deeper than performance. Yeah, I'm not gonna go through this day chasing approval. I don't want to spend my hours trying to prove that I'm good enough to be loved. I want to start from love, not run toward it like it's some finish line I never reach. Let love be the place I begin from today. Let compassion be the language I speak to myself in, even when I mess up. Especially when I mess up. Let grace be the thing I return to, again and again, when I feel lost or ashamed. Some parts of me are still healing. Some wounds are still tender. And there are voices, old memories, old judgments, old habits that try to keep those wounds open. But God, I want something different now. I want to learn how to tend to myself gently. I want to learn how to hold those hurting parts of me with patience, not frustration. I want to believe that it's not too late to be kind to myself, that I don't have to wait until I'm better to deserve softness. I know the world can be harsh. There are standards I feel like I have to meet, images I feel like I have to match. But every time I try to mold myself into someone else, I lose something sacred. I lose the chance to be real, to be honest, to be whole. So today, God, help me choose something else. Help me choose authenticity over appearance. Help me be proud of my progress, even if it's slow. Help me celebrate the fact that I'm still here, still showing up, still trying to live with heart. And if I feel weak today, remind me that weakness is not failure. It's human. It's beautiful in its own way. It's a doorway into deeper grace. Let me stop apologizing for needing breaks, for needing rest, for not always being okay. Let me give myself permission to be human. Let me feel my feelings without shame. Let me cry if I need to. Let me laugh without guilt. Let me breathe deeply and move slowly. Let me just be. And if I get stuck in the spiral of self-criticism again, if the thoughts come back, if I find myself picking apart every little thing, I ask you, God, to step in, to interrupt that cycle with your peace. To remind me that I don't have to be perfect to be okay. I don't have to do everything right to be held in your love. I don't have to have it all together to be worthy of joy. Today, help me speak words to myself that heal, words that sound like encouragement, words that feel like safety, words that rebuild what shame has torn down. I want to become someone I trust, someone I enjoy being with, someone I can come home to, not run from. And I know that begins with compassion. So, let this morning be one of turning inward with kindness, of starting the day not with pressure but with presence, of remembering that I am not a problem to fix, I am a soul to cherish, I am a heart to care for, I am someone learning, growing, unfolding, and that is beautiful.